we have to have a way to get this carriage up and down this track system. And this is where the control lines come into play. Now, if you're using one rope, like I've done here, you're basically going to, you could use butterflies here if you wanted to, but I've used directional 8s. And then the prusiks here are actually holding the load. And then the knot is the backup. Okay, and then of course it's continuous to here. So again, we're using a Kootenai Rock Exotic carriage here. Plenty of holes. So we're going to put our control lines in the upper holes up here. And this allows us to move this carriage left or right. Now how do we do that? Well, and you can see where this starts getting kind of messy and lots of ropes involved. And we're not even doing a reeve system yet. This is just a way to get a load back and forth on a track line, okay? So imagine a whole nother set of lines to raise and lower that load off of that carriage, okay? So that's why I wanted to break this down into basic steps. Okay, but let's focus on the control line. So if I want to raise this line here is going into a CMC clutch on a haul system. Okay, if I want to raise that carriage up, I just raise him up. If I want to lower him, I can just let off tension. Okay. Now, if you're in between two anchors, you have to have another team on the other side, because if I'm pulling this way, assuming this is on a flat horizontal, okay, it's different if we're on a slope. You have to have another team over here to, and I'll put a pencil ID right here. You have to have another team member over here letting out rope as that haul team is hauling up, okay? And vice versa. If I wanted to haul up this way, this team over here has to be letting out rope so this carriage can move whichever way it needs to go. Okay, it's pretty self-explanatory. Now that all changes again if you're on a steep slope and you're starting at the top and you're lowering it and then you're raising it from the same position. That's different. But if you're on a, you know, imagine this is a chasm right here, chasm, and you know, you're going down into a canyon or into an opening. These two team members have to communicate, and if it was long enough, you have to have a radio system or something of that nature so they can communicate how to move this carriage exactly where it needs to go. Okay, so each team needs to be prepared to lower and raise on both sides. And ideally, I would have another CMC clutch over there with that same system. So, okay, hope this makes sense. So we've talked about our track lines. Now we're talking about our control lines. The control lines, all it's doing is moving this carriage left or right, up or down. That's it. So if we have a person getting in the system over here, we can haul that person over there, and vice versa. Okay, hope that makes sense. I'm going to pause and look at that so you guys can look at it and see what I've done here. And this can be two independent ropes too. Okay, it doesn't have to be the same rope. Yeah, but it'd be terminated here, and then the prusik. Okay. All right, I hope this clears up everything on a basic Highline. You should be able to do a track line now, and you should be able to do a control line. And maybe in another video I'll do it on a one-way system on a steep slope, going straight up, straight down. That would, and actually put this into motion and show you how everything's done. But all right, hope this helps. Lots of equipment, lots of rope, and it takes several people to get something like this done. So always be mindful of that. Talk to you later.